Hey YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot. This is Blade Junkie. You'll see my Legos are out here, but that's not what this video is about. This video is more on my HPI Sprint to Sport Drift RTR. I've been posting a couple videos on it once in a while, but I only have like 2 or 3 right now. So I just want to show you some stuff that I've been doing. So last time I showed you my HPI Torreza body and my Viper GTSR body and the 2010 Camaro that came with it. So this time I'd like to show you some more bodies that I've painted and worked on just overall. And I guess to start with the Camaro, I kind of liked the way the Camaro looked, so this is oh man, can't even remember. This is like a 1969, something like that. Yeah, 1969 Camaro SS, and I painted this one myself as well. I paint all my own bodies when I buy the clear versions of them. I haven't bought a pre-painted body just because I like painting so much. In fact, I wish that I could paint Lexan bodies as a job, but you know, people would have to select what they want it to look like and all that, so you know, probably not really an option. But anyway, first coat on here is metallic blue, and it's pretty obvious because that's the main color. And I did metallic blue because the only time I'd ever used metallic blue was with the GTSR, and it was just not enough for me. I wanted to go with a little more blue, so I painted this one. And actually it has 3 colors painted. So the primary color is this blue, which was the first thing that I painted. And the second thing I painted was this black up here, and I don't exactly know what I did that for. I just think it looks cool. Kind of makes the vehicle look a little more classic. And then I used paint masks from Parma PSE for this whole thing here, which is on both sides. And yeah. So that was the last thing I did, and it's all silver on the inside, clear windows. I'm kind of getting sick of the blackout window thing. It looks like crap in my opinion now, just because, you know, it's black. I mean, it doesn't look realistic because in the real world a car has a limit to its level of tint in the windows, and yeah, I wanted to make it look a little more realistic, so I'm leaving the windows clear more now than I used to. But anyway, it came with all the stickers, so I've got all the stickers on there. Like, sticker here says HPI and all the various things. And when you first buy it, it'll have this big lip up here, or when I first bought it anyway. And they tell you to leave that on, but I took it off because I don't want it slamming into things, because that, you know, that'll just slow the car down. So I just cut it off with my Lexan scissors, and that was that. So it also came with a spoiler here. I think it looks pretty good. You know, it's not perfect, but it does look good in my opinion. So yeah. I don't really know what else to tell you about that one, so I guess I'll move on to the next one. And last time on my Torreza body that I posted the video on, I got a comment about somebody saying, "Ooh, stickers, how special," or, you know, something like that. And it kind of bugged me because, well, let's face it, I didn't paint that so that you could make fun of it. Alright? Oh, I want to just clear that up. Sure, every kit comes with stickers. I put the stickers on there. But I want to point out, I didn't post that video for you to admire the stickers. I posted the video for you to see the paint job. Because the paint job is what I wanted you to see. because that I did. Okay, moving along. The next body I have to show you here is Saleen S7R, and all the bodies I've bought so far are made by HPI. So, it uses metallic blue in here and also in here because the side of this is two-tone. So from an angle it'll look blue, and I guess I can't really show you that on camera. Well, kind of, but if you look at it, it looks blue, just kind of, when the light hits it right. But the main coat is green, and you see that kind of bluish green, and as you turn it, the light will hit it differently, and it'll change colors a little. And so that was obviously the first thing I painted. Second thing that I painted was the metallic blue, which is only on the sides behind here, this BASF thing and the American flag. I'm sorry to all of you who are not Americans and think I'm being really smug for having an American flag on my car, but real race cars have the flag of their country on them, so I think it's realistic to put it on there. As you can see, Saleen is written all over the car. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's freaking everywhere. It's even freaking on the license plate. Yeah, and then, so that was the green and the blue, and then all the stickers and junk, which are pretty scraped up because my uncle came over and tried the car with the grip tires on it, and he was overwhelmed by the speed and drove it under a full-sized car. So, kind of scraped up the stickers a little bit, which kind of sucks, but that's not so bad. I mean, not everyone's a good driver with these things. I mean, I wasn't to begin with. I was a good drifter, but I wasn't a good grip driver just because that's not my specialty. So anyway, red, I got spike masks that I just kind of put around the curvature here and then over the window, and the spike masks I just think look really awesome. And they go all the way back and under the spoiler, and this spoiler is actually not the one that came with it. This is a spoiler from a different kit, and I don't remember which one it is, but it fit well on here, and I think it looks good, so I just decided to use it. And then a single stripe down the middle here, and I think that looks pretty good too. As well as I would think any would seem to be. And for those of you that do not know a lot about these, if you buy a clear body and you want to paint it, it'll come with window masks, and you put those on the inside. And as you can see, this one's black, just because it seemed to be a good idea to use that as the overcoat, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so it'll come with window masks, and then if you want a straight line like here or like here, you can either buy some special tape that they have, or you can do what I do, which works, which is I just get a roll of masking tape, and I actually just keep masking tape in my box of all my spare parts and whatnot. And actually, I have multiple front belts, and I was expecting to have to replace them a lot, but I didn't end up needing to, so that was nice. But the back one broke more times than I could repair it, so I had to buy a whole crud load of those. But anyway, that's this body. I can't really tell you much more about it. Obviously, it's not a complex thing. Talking about, you paint it, you put some stickers on it, and that's that. And actually, they're not stickers. I get angry when people call them stickers because they're decals, and there's a freaking difference. Decals often have a clear background so that they blend with the vehicle more properly and more appropriately. And yeah. And this HPI sticker on the back here, this didn't come with it. It'll come with a lot of these, but I didn't use only those. I did use some from the others. Like, I'm pretty sure this GTS thing right here came from the Viper, because it's a GTSR. Actually, it might have come from the Camaro. I'm not really sure. But anyway, that's that body. And then so the last body that I want to show you, I actually painted it before I painted the Saleen S7R. Uh, I think it looks awesome, and it was totally different from anything I had done before, and it is a Ford F-150 Flareside. And obviously I come up with all my own paint jobs and, you know, schemes and stuff. And if you're wondering why every body I own is pretty much a completely different scheme than any other, it's because it's kind of the concealer of identity. It leaves you unsure. So if someone's a really good drifter and you're afraid they're going to win a competition because they get more angle, then you bring a different body to every meet and people won't know who you are, because, you know, they'll recognize your face, but if it's somebody new and they see you're a good drifter, they're going to say, watch out for that car. They're not going to be able to, because it's going to be a different car every time. But I also just like painting bodies, and I want to have one in pretty much every spectral option. So yeah, anyway, this one was very different for me. Pearl white main color, and I think it turned out freaking brilliant, but I could be wrong. And well, I can't be wrong because that's an opinion. So, you know, very, very dirty inside. That's because this is probably my favorite body. I think it looks the best on there just because it's, you know, it's so different. But what I like to do with stripes, and I do this in a bunch of video games that I play too, is I have two stripes that go down the middle, and they look like just normal racing stripes, but when they hit the bottom, they go around the sides, but they don't converge in the middle, which I think looks really cool, and it gives it kind of this nice kind of V in the front. The 6 on there that you see all over the place, it's on the sides, and it's on the back here. Those actually came from the Camaro, and I just had those left over and felt like using them just to make it look a little more like a rally racing truck. And this is a 200mm body, and I didn't mention it before, but that Saleen S7R was a 200mm body as well, and they usually have little cutouts for nitro cars, which will have a different contour than electric. So this little thing should be a flat step, and it is on the other side, but over here it's a bump because that makes space for the part of the nitro car that the electric doesn't have. And yeah, the spoiler, I don't know, when I first got this thing out, I thought it was a pretty hardcore spoiler. I didn't have the spoiler on it at first, but I eventually decided that I would go ahead and try it. And it's attached with a couple strips of servo tape. There's servo tape here holding the sides on, and that's the way they tell you to do it, but I don't know if it's the best way, but I think it works quite well, because obviously servo tape is very hard to remove, you know, with natural stuff. And these here things that you see, those didn't come with this. They actually came with the Torreza, and they're actually supposed to be on the sides of the Torreza, but they're optional, so I used the ones that came with it. This one, it's not very obviously sponsored, but I was driving around the park, and I don't know if you can see this, but, well, yeah, of course you can. This very obvious dent here, and that's because one day I got some gear replacements because one of them was clicking around a lot, and I upgraded the gear ratio a little bit so it could go a little faster. And I was driving it around at a park, and there were a few families having a barbecue, and I was driving it around in the basketball court, and nobody was there at the time. And eventually all the kids that were at this barbecue saw me driving it around and started chasing it, and they thought it was really funny to chase. And so some of them would try, you know, really hard, and I'd slow down just to make it a little more fun for them, and then speed up again because obviously this goes a lot faster than they can run. So, you know, I would slow down and then pull up to, you know, some really high speeds to get away so that they wouldn't trip over it, but one kid did. And when he tripped over it, he managed like to kind of kick the side a little. And I know that doesn't seem like the kind of thing that would cause it to dent outward like this, but he had a weird shoe that was like a snake's tongue. So instead of bending this part in, it bent these two in and left this big thing, because it pushed this, and then this here thing that's out. There's a part on my car that sticks out right there and pushes against the body, so that it couldn't bend, but the sides could, and that kind of weird thing happened. Not that that really matters much to you, but you know, don't just a word of advice to any of you. If you get into this, I understand it's an expensive thing, but don't get too angry with people for if they do happen to make a little mistake that causes a minor bend in the body, because well, not only is it pretty easy to fix them. I mean, this one I didn't even try to fix because it really doesn't matter much to me, just because I'm I'm not really high up in the scale of that. So just don't get too curled up with your bodies. I mean, I have 6 right now, and that's that's just not the kind of thing that you want to do. So yeah, and I don't know if I told you this, but yeah, pearl white is a primary, metallic green is a secondary. Ford F-150 Flareside, made by HPI. Very obvious because HPI Racing is sponsoring it all over the place. You got HPI Racing here. You've got HPIRacing.com here. You've got HPI Racing here. You've got HPI right here. And you've got HPI Racing right here. And then on the back of it here, you've got HPI Racing there, HPIRacing.com, HPI Racing here, HPI Racing here, and you'll see a fingerprint of paint over that little green thing, because that was when I had just got back inside the house from my garage where I was painting this here spoiler, and yeah. Anyway, we've got HPI here, and we've got F-150 here, so, HPIRacing.com here, Power Fuel and Power Plug TA, those actually came from the 68 Camaro as well, along with these champion stickers there. Yeah, anyway, quite insane, really. How easy it is to paint something, and it's truly unusual how this truck makes the car look like it's going faster, just because the car is going the same speed, but a car and a truck don't usually go equally fast. So you put a truck body on a car chassis, it makes the truck look faster than the car, just because trucks don't go that fast. So in comparison, it's like an illusion. And the final sponsors, HPIRacing.com, all over the place. But good bodies, obviously. I love them. They're freaking beast, because, I mean, let's face it, they're just that awesome. And you look inside this one, it looks like a pretty messy paint job. That's just because it's kind of mildly translucent green. So it's backed with white. And what happened here is I was painting around the edges of it so that I could make, this green much more obvious, because when you're driving it around on the ground, any amount of light that goes in the windows will go down to there, and then it'll shine like it is, like right there. As you can see it'll do that, but from the outside, or from the inside out, and then it'll look like it's glowing, and it's really inconsistent glow, and it just looks like crap, and it sounds cool, but it does look like crap. So what happened was I was going around the edges with some pearl white paint, and I ran out of paint after I had done all the edges of it. I started to do the back of it, and I was going to continue, but I ran out of pearl white paint, and I just didn't really want to go spend $5 on something I didn't really need because, you know, it's metallic, but the idea is that it's metallic from the outside. So any light that hits it reflects off of it. Like you can see there, you can't see inside or through the body just because the light's hitting it on the outside. It just creates kind of a glare. So, you know, I mean, I did that just because you know, this part's closer to the ground, but you see this little green mark here. That's because when that kid tripped, it flipped the truck over, and when it landed upside down, it was pressing on the body, and the gear that I had on it would just press against that because this was when I had my old gear setup. So it just pressed against that when this was upside down because obviously you're not supposed to support weight on this. So all of it was pushing down on the top here, and the top cleaned up pretty well, I think. You know, the other cars probably don't do quite as well with the whole scraping thing, but this one did pretty good, so that's nice. But anyway, when it's upside down and the weight is pushing down on it from these 4 points where the posts go through, it creates a problem when you're trying to work with the spur gear and the pinion gears, because the spur gear, first of all, is huge, and the spur gear is the one that'll hit this. The pinion gear is the one that'll usually spit rocks at you if you don't have a body on it. So that'll kind of throw rocks on the inside and scrape it up, and that's why most people have an overcoat. Of some color, at least, of some sort, any sort, really, will do. But just try not to flip these things. I mean, they're fast and they flip more easily than you'd think. And it's not just because the kid tripped, because I was driving it and I took a turn wrong and I hit a crack in the sidewalk, and that just flung it, and it just slid along on its roof for a while, and that's happened about 4 or 5 times now. So be careful with the speed of this thing, because it doesn't seem like it should flip over too easily because of the fact that it's a car and it's so low to the ground, but anything can flip when you put the right force in the wrong place. And woo, is it bad. Yikes. I've gone through so many crashes that it's a miracle these bodies stay as pristine as they do. But that's why it's great painting the inside. So, yeah. Well, I guess I'm probably about to run over my limit on time here, so sorry for boring the crap out of you one more time with all my stupid little stories, if you prefer to call them that. I prefer to be more kind and call them memories, but call them whatever you want to call them. This is Blade Junkie, signing off. Thanks. See you later.